Hey kids, Carl here. How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land today? So it's very early in the morning here, well, not very early, I'm sorry, 8:14 this morning, Thursday, May 3rd, 2 days to Cinco de Mayo. And one of my viewers messaged me last night after my live stream. He suggested, and rightly so, that my live streams are way too long. For some viewers, they just don't have time to sit through an hour and a half or whatever, or an hour of me going on and on. And so he suggested I do a Cliff Notes version for those people on a tighter time schedule. Well, you know what? I thought that was a great idea. And so that's what this is. This is the very first Cliff Note of last night's live stream for those people on the go with a tight schedule. And, you know, it just made sense. It just made sense. So, with that said, I'm going to try to keep these Cliff Notes very brief, to the point, so you can stop in, check out the Cliff Note in, 5-10 minutes, whatever it becomes, and go on about your day, knowing that you got all the facts about what's going on. Now, unfortunately, these Cliff Notes don't necessarily have the interaction capability that we have on live streams, and so it doesn't really build community as much as what I would like. But that said, I can understand why some people would just like to have something, fast and furious and move on, because they're busy. They got busy lives. So, and here I am going on and on and on about this, right? Okay, so here's the deal. During the live stream last night, we talked about a number of different things that were going on here. First of all, what I did most of yesterday is I worked on the rigging on the mast. Now, this was a phenomenal experience for me. Some of the rigging on this mast was a little different than what I've seen in the past. It was a lot of wire to rope type rigging, whereas I've always seen it just being, halyards, just being rope, not wire and rope braided together. So it kind of made me think a little bit about it, and anyhow, I started working on it, cleaning up the rigging, and I bought some new halyards, and I was going to replace them. One of them is all rope, and so I bought that, and I was going to place it. The other one, I bought a piece of rope. I was going to look at it, see if I couldn't figure out how to splice it to the wire cable. Looking at the cable, then the cable's crap, so I really should have gone and bought some new cable. Well, round about this time, one of the fellows from the Marina owner actually came by, and he's like, you know what? He says, let me go get Chip. I'm like, okay, go get Chip. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. So he comes back over with this fellow named Chip, and Chip walks up and down my mast and looks at it, and he goes, yeah, I can see the problem here. You don't need this. This needs to be fixed. This needs to be fixed. He says, you know what? He says, I got a bunch of stuff at home that I took off of my boat last year that's in really good shape. Let me bring it up tomorrow and let's see what fits. And I'm like, okay, scared, what the hell the bill's going to be on this, Anyhow, the guy comes over yesterday, and he had, like, brand new, they weren't brand new, but it was like brand new replacement halyards for my mast. Only his were longer than mine. Just a little bit longer than mine, because his rigging all ran back to the cockpit and not just to the mast. See, with my boat, I have to go forward, I have to go up to the mast to raise and lower the mainsail. I have to go up to the mast to raise and lower the head sail. But, it's on roller furling, so normally I would just roller it in. But if I wanted to take it down, I have to go forward to the mast to do that. So his rigging was all set up to go back to the cockpit, which is a lot safer and a lot more convenient for everybody. So what he did is he started working on swapping everything out. He and I worked together for 2, 3, maybe 4 hours, pulling all the old rigging out and putting all the new rigging in, getting everything in place. And we got it all done. And then he says, well, now you're going to need the terminal tackle. You're going to need the blocks and stuff to bring everything back to the cockpit. And so he goes back to his truck and he comes up with another box, and sure enough, it's all of the rigging I need to install on the coach roof to run those lines back to the cockpit. There's turning blocks, and there's the latches to lock the line down, And then on top of that, the guy that owns the Marina comes over and gives me a pair of used Lumar winches so that I can put some blocks up here in the coach roof and mount those winches. Awesome. And then on top of all that, they just gave it all to me. No charge. Just gave me all. I mean, this was like $600 to $800 worth of rigging and equipment, probably more than that. And the guy just gave it to me. So friggin' awesome. Absolutely friggin' awesome. So right now my mast is set. My standing and running rigging is in mint condition right now. There ain't nothing wrong with it. The only thing I got to do to my mast right now is I got to go up and clean the sail track, and I have to sand and paint the spreaders, and I need to mount my spreader lights on there. And I think I might do those because we've got a couple days of high wind. In fact, it rained pretty good last night, so I may do those. So anyhow, moving on to the next thing. Lily's doing great. My dog's doing great. She's really enjoying being on the boat. She seems to be enjoying the whole lifestyle. She jumps on and off the boat all the time. You see her right now. She's standing up there in the doorway. That seems to be her favorite spot on the boat. That way she can keep an eye on what I'm doing, and she can keep an eye on everything outside so she can woof at the seagulls and woof at the Canadian geese and anybody that's walking by. So, yeah, she's such a big, badass dog. That's funny. Well, then she just jumped off the boat to go get something. Probably going to go visit somebody and say hello to them. No, she's here. Okay. Another thing, I'm lousy at fishing, apparently. You know, I really just sort of did a little bit of half-ass fishing. I've really not gotten serious with it. But yesterday, I put out a line. I put out 3 lines. I put out one with a waxworm, one with a night crawler, and one with a minnow on it. I had 3 lines out at one time for about an hour, and I didn't catch anything. And yet there were fish jumping out of the water all up and down in the area here. So I don't know what the hell. I guess I have to figure out my techniques here. This is, you know, normally I don't just bobber fish for walleye. You know, usually we put out a drift for walleye. So I don't know how to catch walleye from the bank. I guess something I have to learn. So other than that, I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. Diet's working good. Getting lots of exercise. The Marina here finally got the bathroom and the shower working, so I'm now considering I may stay here a little bit longer to get more work done on the boat, get things sorted out a little better, get things cleaned up and in place. Once we get the mast up, and I don't know right now when we're going to do that, but once we get the mast up, I still have a lot of work to do up there. Obviously, I have to mount all those blocks and tackle and get all that in place now. But I also have to get the sails up and get them on the boat and get the sail cover out, and which will actually give me a lot more room on the boat because a lot of the head area right now is just bags of sails piled up. So it's sort of infringing on my opportunities to be able to walk back and forth. So, oh, what else is going on? I did some sorting and I did find a spoon, so I do have one implement for eating. So this morning it's going to be raisin bran and milk for breakfast. And I think that's about all we covered during the live stream. So there you go. I reduced an hour-and-a-half live stream down to what, nine minutes, I guess, or so. And that's what these Cliff Notes are going to be all about. Just sort of an abbreviated. This is what's happening. Bang, 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 real quick. Not a lot of embellishment for those of you on the go. So I hope you appreciate my Cliff Notes. Please do like and subscribe. In the description down below, there'll be links to my PayPal account if you want to become to donate to the cause, or join my Patreon account and become a patron. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this here. Please do like and subscribe, and we will see you later. And take good care of one another, please. Thank you.